welcome to the Tuesday, March 10th meeting of the Ayer Planning Board. This hearing of the Ayer Planning Board will be held in person at the location provided on this notice. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation via Zoom is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with a particular interest in a specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. This meeting will be live on Zoom. The public may access the proceedings by joining Zoom meeting ID 978-772-8220 or by calling 929-205-6099. For additional information about remote participation, please contact Danny Ruiz, Town Planner, at druiz@ayer.ma.us or 978-772-8220 extension 144 prior to the meeting. First item of business is to approve the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Seconded.
Any discussion? Anything on the agenda we wish to? Nope, we're good. Ken, how do you vote?
Yes.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Nathan?
Aye.
Julie?
Yes.
Chair votes aye. Agenda is approved. The first item on our agenda is a public hearing for a proposed zoning bylaw amendment. I'd like to read the announcement into the record. Public hearing notice for the proposed zoning bylaw amendments. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Section 40A, subsection 5, the Ayer Planning Board will hold a public hearing at 6:15 p.m. on Tuesday, March 10th, 2026 at the Ayer Town Hall, 1 Main Street, Ayer, Massachusetts, for the Planning Board to vote on recommending the following zoning bylaw amendments to the April 27th, 2026 Fall Town Meeting. That would be to see if the town will vote to amend the Ayer zoning bylaws, Chapter 320, Article 9, Section 9.5.1, sign permits, and Section 9.5.4, permitted signs, and Section 9.5.7, construction and maintenance of signs, or take any action relative thereto. The full text of the proposed article can be found on the Town of Ayer website at ayer.ma.us/planningboard/pages/zoning proposals town meeting, and paper copies can be obtained at the town clerk's office or at the Ayer Planning Department in Ayer Town Hall during normal business hours. For more information, please contact the Ayer Planning Office at 978-772-8220, extension 144, or planning@ayer.ma.us. As advertised February 26th and February 27th, 2026 in the Neshoba Valley Voice. I believe that we're going to have a presentation from Mike and Ray.
First motion to open.
Oh, I'm sorry. We need a motion to open this public hearing.
I'll make a motion. We open a public hearing for the proposed zoning bylaw changes regarding the sign section of the bylaws.
Seconded.
Oh, thank you, Julie. Julie, second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ken?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Nathan?
Aye.
Julie?
Yes.
Chair votes aye.
Before
But they can sit. They can sit. They come up. They can sit.
Before we get into the actual presentation, just a point to clarify. So, in the legal notice, there's a link on there that was sent out prior to us transferring over to the new website.
Oh, yes.
So I know there was a little bit of an incident in where people were going to that link, and it was not working. It was saying not found because that's the old website. So just as a quick reminder to everybody, anything that's going to be going before the planning board will always be under our current applications and plans on the new website. And because the new website's slightly different, I don't have all of the documents just laid right out under each item. You have to actually click into the document, link to the documents to get all the documents. But it is right here. And that's, so just to clarify that I know this happened, I got an email about this, so it may have happened with other people. All right, the PowerPoint. Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Chair and the members of the Planning Board. Rachel and myself, Mike Wallace, Building Commissioner, Rachel Friedlander, Director of Economic Development. We would like to propose, or we have proposed, a change in the sign bylaw specifically regarding to the window signs. We believe it's outdated, and that the materials have come a long way, and it's just restricting small businesses from being able to just advertise regularly.
Yeah, so to go through our PowerPoint presentation here, we did receive feedback from the public, of which there are 3 letters that were included online from local businesses. And Jose Bonks of JNS here on Main Street shared that he was thinking this was just an old bylaw because back in the day people would hand paint signs on the windows, and so the town was trying to move towards making more permanent requirements for businesses and signage. And so his thought was, especially because there are towns surrounding us that already allow businesses to do this was outdated, and it would be great to see it changed. Additionally, we received feedback from other businesses that impacted privacy for their customers, as well as making it harder to advertise the business, because if you have to post your sign on the interior side of the window and it's tinted, it doesn't stand out as much, it's not as vibrant. And so our current bylaw, just to move through the PowerPoint here.
Ray, I'm going to encourage you to speak a bit
speak.
louder.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
You're
Yeah.
doing great with the mic. You don't have to be
Oh,
close
okay.
to
Yeah,
that.
don't worry about the mic. Worry about
Oh.
the back
You're
of the
going
room.
very to go deaf.
Oh, okay, great.
It's a tough call there. I'm sorry to make you do both.
No worries. So our current bylaw, we don't allow signage to be painted or posted directly on exterior surfaces, and we don't allow windows to be considered a permanent sign. Next slide, please. So the amendments, we're giving the building commissioner, through making these changes, oversight on the materials that will be used. Will allow windows to be considered a permanent sign, and exterior surfaces of windows can also be used as signage. And as mentioned in the memo, the building commissioner already has oversight over appearance, and so if something were to happen, say a sign was installed and it didn't meet, quality control or standards, Mike, within his full capacity, can make those changes already. Next slide, please. And so our recommendation is that the planning board consider forwarding these amendments so that the community can consider them at the spring town hall meeting.
Okay, Mike, you want to add to that before
Yeah,
we open up to the board?
Yeah, I'd just like to make a comment about how we get to figure out what is an improved material or not.
Great.
It's not just, me saying, yeah, that looks good. It refers to the back of the International Building Code, the reference standards. So, for example, you would look in the back. I would ask, for example, I'd ask Jose from JNS Business for the materials of, what compiles how the signs are being made, what materials are used, and then they'll each have reference standards codes in the back saying what they're approved for, if I'm explaining this right. So an example, if on one of the materials on the window decal says ISO 4578, that says it complies with adhesive and peel resistant properties. Or ASTM standards would tell you if its durability rating. And then there's smoke develop index and all that kind of thing, and that's all in there. Products only have these numbers and these codes if they've already been approved
Right.
and tested. That's all.
So that goes on the actual sign?
No, it would go on, I would request a sheet of what the materials they use to make
So
So if
these
you
signs.
have a concern, you would ask what that code is.
I'll
for
require
that
it
sign.
anyway,
You require it.
regardless.
Sorry to jump in there.
No,
No, of course.
it's fine. So, Mike, what's up?
Sorry, I was going to say, I believe that's part of the sign bylaw, the building permit for the signs, right? That's part of your requirements?
On the building permit, what, to list the materials?
For the sign permit.
To list materials? I believe so.
So, my first question is, what inspired this revision?
Rachel was getting a little gripe from some small business.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you
and
got-
trickled down to
okay.
my fault, kind of. So, or
Right.
up to us to change it. So,
Okay, great. So, was it a concern that was raised by the business community itself, or members of the business community
Correct.
Downtown,
downtown?
just downtown, nowhere else in town.
correct, Ken. Yeah.
And to be fair, this There, prior to Ray coming and prior to Mike becoming the building commissioner, this was also something that
Was
was
an
brought
issue.
up. Was an
An
issue
issue.
that we had previously discussed possibly changing.
Yeah.
It took some time, and Ray and Mike made that made the push to get this going.
And what possible objections could there be to this? What are the things why wouldn't you put a sign on the exterior of a window?
Why wouldn't you, as of before this?
Yeah, I mean,
if
like,
this does get changed?
are there any reasonable objections to
It's,
this?
in the
That's what I'm
past, there
getting
was some crazy signs that were all over the place, so they were trying to get control of the look of that downtown in the years gone by before there were
at.
bylaws.
I kind of want to hear from Ray and Mike. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Through the chair, I think it's because in the past
Yeah.
they weren't designed to withstand weather, and so by putting them on the interior, you ensured longevity of the material.
Technology's
but now
changed.
technology has changed, and so many towns are allowing businesses to do precisely what this amendment would allow Ayer to do, because the signs can withstand the test of time, at least for much longer than they did in the past.
And there's just one more, and I'll turn it over. This is about the materials. This isn't about the communicative substance of the sign, right?
Correct.
That's totally different. Okay.
Correct, yeah, just materials, yeah.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Was Nathan or Julie had a question first?
I
I got a
do
question.
too.
I just wanted to jump on,
Please.
if I may, to what Ray was saying, that because I think I picked up also, I'm making a hunch here, that also the UV protection in glass is preventing or hindering
Absolutely.
signs from being seen.
Yeah, and some people have stressed that to Ray, I believe.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, Nathan. Julie?
First, I just want to say it's nice to meet you, Mike.
Yeah,
know
you too.
We've met before. This is a very visual concept, and I'm a visual person, so maybe not for here, but if this does go to town meeting, if there could be some examples of maybe towns that are doing this well, or
Yeah.
what
It's a great
some
idea.
of that signage looks like. I think it feels a little less daunting, but I really respect, especially what Jose does. So I can imagine it would be some fabulous signage. So I think that's my only I would like to see that, but I don't have any other questions.
Can you go back to okay, so just for clarification, it's the same as we've done other zoning articles, where you have the cross out for the language that's going away, and it's replaced by the new language.
Yeah, so I can walk you through
I got a question on the second slide that we had,
on the second slide.
right at the top.
On this one.
Second or third slide, maybe where the language is.
On this.
Yeah, so it does. Might be the next slide. Okay, so the second item here says all windows to be considered permanent signs.
No, it says allows windows to be considered permanent
Excuse me?
signs.
Says allows.
Allows windows to be considered, allows windows to be considered permanent signs. So am I to take it that the size of the window generates the size of the sign?
I'd say the size of the sign on the window would.
So if it's just a graphic, and it doesn't have a border or anything like that? how do you-
Measure the area of it, I guess.
It's not clear there, I don't think.
We have a way on how we measure signage.
Okay.
It's not being changed in here.
There's a length for so many, you're allotted for,
Yeah.
or a size allotted for, depending on the length of the front of your building and such.
Yeah. So the calculation on how we calculate the size of a sign is not being changed as of right now. Even though I know that's something that we've also discussed of potentially changing as well. But as of right now,
I was just concerned with the language, that I took it to be whatever the size of the window be.
well, so
What could be the sign.
yeah, so on
I don't
that,
want people to be unclear about that.
Okay.
yeah, so maybe we can
Understand what I'm
clarify
saying?
that
Yeah.
during the
Can you
presentation.
go back up to that again, that
Yep.
language?
So we can clarify the
So it says
amendment.
allows windows to be considered permanent
Yeah,
signs.
I see what you're saying, Ken, yeah.
Yeah, so the PowerPoint, what we'll I can work with Ray on kind of making some of these changes so that when a town meeting, it's more clearly written out as in the sense of what is being changed.
Okay.
Kind of like with mine, I typically just use the text of what's being changed so that there is no misconception of what is so
Right.
there's no confusion. But this one, I think it's a pretty easy change.
Maybe it should have said allows allows signage
right.
on windows to be considered permanent signs. Or
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just, it was a typo, apologies.
okay, so, I mean, other than that, it's a pretty simple change, right? Basically saying we're gonna allow him to oversee the quality of the materials that are put on the window.
And-
Move it from the inside to the outside.
And really, it's, I mean, yes, it's Mike, but it's also the
The vendor.
the
owner.
building code.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Mr.
Nathan?
Chair, two questions. One is, I think it's helpful to make changes to the presentation because a lot of people won't read the text, but when it comes to voting on it, I need to vote on the language.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
this
what's
is,
the,
this is the document that's going to have the permanent language that.
What's the motion?
Andy showing us?
Yeah. So, well, this is the memo that was
This is the
actually
memo.
done. So this is this shows everything that's in bold is the proposed changes, and then the strike through in bold is what's being removed.
Okay.
So typically, so the way we would do it is the motion would read as kind of like what we have on the.
Yeah, I think you'd say it's a motion to recommend to the select board their,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we're not actually making the motion.
no, we're not right now, but that's what it would look
But
like.
the motion would look like, would be reading exactly
Just
this
the way it's
section.
number one?
Just how it's written.
But
That
but
page.
again,
Aye.
the
Yeah.
what actually gets changed is the language of the bylaw,
Correct.
which stands for a long time.
Mhm.
And so that's what I want to read. So when you have the changes, anything that comes out tonight, if anything came out of the select board's meeting, if we could be notified.
So nothing came out of the select board meeting. It was moved to you without changes.
Okay.
So thank you for the question. Can I follow up on that?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the addenda, tonight's agenda.
Yep.
And under the I in the first one.
Yep.
Gives you part of it, but would you then continue on to say in accordance with the bold shown in the thing?
No. So
Or just,
there's a specific way we write motions for town meeting.
okay,
That is just a motion for the board to make. You are not making any determination on the actual written portion of the bylaw. You're just, in the sense of unless you make changes. So your motion is just carrying over the proposal that they have. That's your motion.
Yes.
So the town meeting will then get into the specifics of the actual bylaw and the amendment. They'll go through all of the changes, and then town meeting votes on the actual proposal. And so when you see the warrant, you'll see section 9.51, 9.54, and 9.57 all together on one page.
so, Mr. Chair, sorry about this. I don't want it to get confused, so there's actually, I think my language was different. The motion we're talking about tonight is different from what I was talking about for town meeting. So you're gonna clear up the future language of a town meeting motion. Tonight, you were just asking us to move it through the process.
Yeah, so I would, so the
We
town
don't see
warrant,
this-
the town warrant would be written by
Right.
other people. Yes,
Right.
I would look at the word, the way it's written, but typically the motion is set by them and how it's written out. The select board reads the motion. We
Right.
don't
I mean,
get
we've
into
done this a
that.
bunch of times, but.
Yeah.
So as far as we're concerned tonight, how about town council? Have they been looked at this at all? Or are you still waiting to do that?
Still waiting.
I can follow up with town council with Amy, I think it might be Amy Quessel for this one, and talk to Robert about it. Typically, final edits for the warrant.
Yeah.
We have some time before then, if anything comes out of it from town council. So I don't know if it's been sent over. I can follow up with that.
Okay.
I don't foresee any changes coming out of that, though.
Can I
Yeah,
ask
go.
why you're asking that question? Because this
I'm
does
just
feel like
wondering if we
very
should move it through
straightforward.
without having town council look at it.
So town council usually looks at it after we've voted on it. That's how it's always usually been done.
I can I
Yeah,
might bring some
please.
clarity, which is presumably there's going to be no changes after it passes this board.
Presumably, yeah.
So what we would read would be most likely the proposed change to the bylaw.
Mhm.
So that's again, I understand that it doesn't really, it goes into effect actually when we vote on it, but blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's in effect right now, actually.
But it gets formally adopted or rejected
hmm
at the town meeting.
And at town meeting, remember on the floor,
It could be amended.
changes can be amended, but it cannot be more restrictive.
Correct. So again,
I'm missing something, so I want
I'm-
to hear this.
I'm also
I-
trying to.
yeah.
I really want to see the final language.
This
But
is
it-
the final language.
We have one change here.
No. So the actual. So it's 9.51.
Yeah.
It's that section. This is being added in. This is being added in. This is being changed.
Yeah.
This is being added in. This is being
And then that's
removed.
being removed.
That's it.
Okay.
It feels like it's a very simple version of things we've done.
It is. It's just, for me, the bylaws carry. For,
Yeah, no.
Yeah, because typically,
100%. I don't want to clean
So I
it
want
up.
to. I want to.
yeah. So typically, when I do it, I print out a whole page with the whole bylaw showing all the changes.
Yeah.
With this one, we didn't do it that way, which it doesn't really change it. They're showing us just the sections out of 9.5 that's being amended.
I think this is fine to propose the idea.
Yep.
I just would like to see the actual text when we vote.
So town meeting won't. It'll
no,
be
no, not when town votes. When planning board votes.
okay.
Right. That's all.
I that's what I'm confused on because this is
This
the
is the
actual-
text. What's missing?
Okay. Well.
That's what I'm confused.
Okay. So explain then how the changes here address the allows bullet point, the allows all windows to be assigned.
That so okay. I think that's the confusion. The amendment that's in here. This is a summary, a quick point. This is not the actual amendment. Yeah,
But
this
what it
is
says
the actual
It
amendment.
says the amendment does this.
Can I?
So I'd like to just know where in the bolded text it allows windows to be signs.
Through the chair, Planning Board Commissioner King, can you pull up the table there?
Yeah.
So that bullet point is just addressing the fact that before, you see where we had permanent signs on the table there? We didn't have the word window, so we just added the word window. So it's saying that a window can be a sign. So
Okay.
technically that should have been there because people are using the interior surface of a window as a permanent sign. So now that's almost just doing housekeeping. So the major change that these amendments are doing is just allowing an exterior surface to be used. And the town still has full control over the quality. They still have to get approval. They still have to follow all the other sign dimensions. So what you're talking about is just housekeeping because people technically are already using windows as permanent signs on the interior. So that's what that's addressing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, see, that's very helpful because here in our existing bylaw, the table goes from walls to temporary
Right.
signs, and there's no window.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now you're adding window.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you bet.
I have one more question.
Yep.
It shouldn't take this long. Why are you taking out, I kind of, there's logic to this, I presume, but why take out the last sentence?
Seems redundant, I believe.
What it says if you don't want to do, maybe they want to put it on the interior.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying you have to. Nobody said you have to.
Well, let's go there, notwithstanding the foregoing.
Now we are now trying to allow the choice to put it on the outside as well.
Excuse me?
We're trying now to allow the choice to put it on the outside as well.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
Well, because the sentence at the beginning, when you read it, it says
no sign shall be painted or posted
painted
directly on the exterior of the window, including the doors, unless materials are permitted. So that's all about the exterior.
Yeah.
And you get to the last sentence and it just says, put it on the interior if you want.
Yeah, because now it's redundant.
You always could put it on the interior.
Yeah, it was already allowed.
Oh, okay. I don't think anyone's gonna concentrate on this as hard as we are right now.
Yes.
But that's what we.
Actually,
Let's let it go.
I mean, that's what we're supposed to do.
I think we were all concerned that maybe the presentation that was going to town meeting, at least I was not in-depth enough. Could you take a good look at that?
Yeah.
For someone like me, I just want pictures.
I can totally work with
Not
that.
in depth.
Was that okay?
Yeah, we all learn differently.
Kathleen, do you have, excuse me, Kathleen, do you have any questions?
Anybody else?
Thank you.
I'd like to open up for public comment. Is there anyone in the room who has comment on this sign? Yes, come up, please come up, Rachel.
Hello, Rachel Cozier, 30 Bratton Harvard Road. I don't know if it matters at all, but I believe the select board kicked it to you guys because they were having technical difficulties, and so they just kind of like moved on from, I don't know, the topic. That's like what.
That's not
Okay, please.
Go ahead, if you finish.
Oh yeah, no, it just seemed like at the end there was confusion because there was a lot of movement in the room. So the chairwoman mentioned that she would kick it to you guys to go through it. So I just wanted to mention it. It's neither here nor there, but it's just from my observation. So
Yeah, so I can actually clarify on that. So there was confusion because the Zoom wasn't working there and the presentation couldn't be done. The PowerPoint presentation couldn't be done, but they gave the same presentation now that they gave to the select board. The select board did a formal vote. They voted to move it to the planning board as is required, and now it's before the planning board.
thank you for clarifying. I didn't quite know how to articulate that,
Yeah,
so
of
I
course.
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Anyone else in the room? Ron,
I'm a little confused.
come on up.
Yeah, come up.
It's an actual person who has a sign.
I know. A sign owner.
Hi, Ron Morrison, MA Real Estate Center downtown. I'm confused. What are you doing? I couldn't hear a thing back there.
Yeah.
Through the
Well-
chair, the town or the community, if this passes in town meeting, will allow buildings or business owners to affix a sign on their exterior window. So right now, you're required to only be able to apply signs on the interior of your
Right.
window. So this would allow business owners to do it on the exterior.
Why would a business owner want to put it on the exterior, I wonder? Is there a violation? I mean, did
so-
somebody violate that?
Yeah, there have been a few.
Really?
Yeah, so, and they actually had to scrape them off the windows for us to enforce it. Couple
Are
$1,000
you
worth
talking about
of.
decals?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's the way they put decals on windows. That's a typical way in which a sign person does that.
The violations that we found are the exact opposite. It's not the case. They've all been on the inside.
Yeah, so the
Or,
town,
sorry, yeah.
the town currently requires it to be on the interior. So when business owners, as you're saying, people typically install on the exterior. When the town receives complaints or when we come to inspect and we notice that, then the business owner has to scrape that off.
Why would, well, first of all, that's the way sign people do decals. They
Yep.
put them on the outside.
But that's why we're doing
But that's
this, Ron,
why we're making the change.
We want this to
So-
be allowed.
so that they can do
so
that.
that they can do it lawfully.
The sign bylaw was outdated. Is basically what we're saying right here. Is previously
It prohibits.
it prohibited.
Oh,
Now
it prohibited putting them on the outside.
correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Now you're allowing them on.
Yes.
Correct.
All right.
All right.
For what it's worth, you need a new sound system. You can't hear a thing
I
there.
know,
Have
I've been
that
seeing it for
come through
freaking
the-
years.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
You gotta fund that. You can start a.
Well,
petition.
send me
Okay,
a
listen,
send me a bill.
Order, please. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm getting.
Any further comments from
Just the
in
beginning.
the room? Hearing none. Pauline?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm just going to follow up on what Ron just asked. This change to the bylaw allows businesses to put on the outside of their windows?
That is correct.
All right, so that is not what I anticipated when I read the documents online. So I encourage you to at least make that abundantly clear, because if a business owner didn't understand it, how is the public going to understand it?
Well, he just couldn't hear it. I'm sorry. Couldn't hear us, Pauline.
Nor could I, but I'm out here, so that's fine. But please make it clear at town meeting, and I won't challenge you, okay? All right, thank you all.
Anyone else online? Okay.
I'll make a motion that the Air Planning Board send back to the select board, I believe it is.
No, hold on.
You don't have to do anything?
Hold on.
All right. Go ahead.
What kind of motion are you making?
I
Why
gotta
are you
make-
sending it back to the select board?
Just
That's
send
not
it to
the.
the, who, to put it on the warrant.
So the way it works is now you're making a motion. I have it written out.
To bring it to
Oh,
town meeting.
To town meeting. So the
Oh.
planning board will vote to recommend or not recommend the following zoning bylaw to amendment to the April 27, 2026 annual town meeting. So your vote is, the planning board is voting to recommend the following zoning bylaw, and then you talk about 9.51
Okay.
and read that section.
I'm sorry, I
Two.
thought the warrant was put together by the select board before it went to town meeting. The planning board, I'll make a motion, the planning board will vote to recommend that the following zoning bylaw amendment from the meeting held on this date, March 10th, 2026, as reviewed by the planning board, be sent forward to the annual town meeting.
And read the actual
And-
verbiage.
The note for the town meeting includes to see if the town will vote to amend the zoning bylaws, chapter 320, article 9, section 9.15,
5.1.
9.51, sign permits in section 9.54, permitted signs in section 9.57, construction and maintenance of signs, or take any action relative thereto.
Seconded.
Any further discussion?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead, Nathan.
I would like an opportunity to read through this memo. So if it's required to vote tonight, I'll have to abstain.
Okay. Danny, can we proceed with the vote?
If he's abstaining, you guys, you still have 4.
Okay, Ken?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
And the chair votes aye.
And then
Oh.
Nathan.
And we have, any abstentions?
Yes.
One abstention. Thank you.
All right.
Next
And
item.
motion to close.
Thank you.
Oh,
for
I need
listening
a
the
motion to
businesses.
close the public hearing for the proposed zoning bylaw amendment. Motion?
It's a good.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Ken?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Nathan?
Aye, that's right.
Julie?
Yes.
Chair votes aye. The public hearing for the zoning bylaw amendment is closed. Thank you.
Thank you. I
Thank
was
you.
just saying, I want to say thank you for listening to the businesses in town and what they're looking for. It's really nice to hear it. You bet.
Thank you,
Next
Mr.
item
Chair.
is
See you later, guys.
is the continued public hearing for Orion Park Drive.
Yes.
Do we have any, yes, hello, Mr. Cataldo.
Uh,
Where are we, sir?
Yes.
Hello.
Good evening.
So I can update the board. At the last meeting, we had had a discussion. Not the last meeting, actually, the meeting before that, because it was continued. We had a discussion, and Ken raised a comment about lighting that was noticed. It was not on the plans. That was submitted and reviewed. So the plan has 3 lights. There's one right here, just before the cul-de-sac, one right here at the intersection, at this entrance to this driveway, and one right at the intersection with Westford Road.
So they're all in the logical places where traffic intersects.
Correct. And so at a later date, whenever the applicant does come back with a project for lot 4 and 5, they'll have internal lighting for that. The lighting here is only for the road.
Right.
So this meets the requirements. It was reviewed and no comments came back. And one other thing was the out of the Conservation Commission, there was a request to relocate the drainage line, the proposed drainage line. It was moved outside of the, was it the 25?
50.
Yes, outside of the 25 no touch, or no disturb. Now, within the 50 is the no build buffer, but they moved it out of there. This came out of the meeting with the Conservation Commission, I believe. Heather, can you update us on natural heritage and kind of what you're up to?
Just before, can we give an explanation how they moved that before we go to Heather?
Excuse me one
Well,
second.
yeah.
If you keep scrolling down, I think
Go
you'll
to
see
this
that
colored
colored
font,
plan
right?
at the very bottom of it.
07.
I hope.
Yeah,
There you go.
it's
There we go.
Yep.
Yes.
So that moves it out of that, 0 to
25.
0 to 25 as requested by Conscom.
So just that, so you move it down, you had to make it a little longer. Is that what happened?
Well, it just deflects,
Yeah.
deflects where we enter the basin, which is
exactly.
not a
Yeah.
problem at all.
It just comes out here as
Right.
opposed to up here.
So you just swung it.
Yeah. They just swung it a
One
couple
direction.
degrees.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Sorry.
Oh, that's great. So I would say for the record that I do the minutes, so unless anyone needs to know that, conservation agent. So we're still waiting on Natural Heritage, unfortunately, for this project. I don't know where we are with them on that. But like Joe said, and Danny, we did ask for them to move that pipe outside of our, we have a 50-foot unit disturb, so having it in the 25 feet, the 22,
Oh, it's
we
fixed
made it
high.
a little, commission was a little apprehensive about that, so we were able to move it. Fortunately, with the snow cover, we hadn't been able to see the site yet. Hopefully, with these last 2 days, we will hopefully be able to schedule that site visit on Thursday. I don't anticipate there being anything coming from Natural Heritage that would hold up planning board. If anything, it would be a restriction on time of year for
Oh,
construction. It's usually what they do. They do a turtle plan, nesting plan for the project that requires XYZ. There is already a conservation restriction on the property that was done with the prior subdivision because it was closer to more habitat, so that I don't anticipate anything coming from Natural Heritage on that. The only would be a restriction on time of year and creating that turtle plan. But I don't see that happening with this one because it's so much further out. But that would be the only thing, and that would fall on conservation. And there would be that condition within yours that would state it'd have to follow our order of conditions as well.
so if I understand you correctly, there's nothing from conservation that would inhibit us from making a vote?
I don't believe so.
Okay, that's what I just want to go, and Mr. Cataldo?
Thank Joe.
So Sean Malone, our engineer of record, got an email from National Heritage this afternoon.
Oh.
And they're going to talk, they're going to pick a day next week on Teams that they can
Okay.
discuss the issues. So I think we're moving forward with that.
Okay.
And Sean will be at the Conservation Commission meeting Thursday
Thursday.
evening
Thursday.
to discuss that. And I won't be there, but he will be attending that to move that along.
Yeah, and so with the way I wrote the decision, if anything substantive comes out of that, something gets moved, a basin, one like that, I wrote it so that the applicant would just have to come back in for a modification. That way it doesn't hold them up with our decision. The decision goes through. And also it says that they have to follow the NOI that the Conservation Commission gives. So it works both ways to kind of help protect both.
Can you point out where that item is on
Let me just pull up the decision.
the language? For the main public.
Yep, hold on 1 second.
Site, maybe it's under site one, priority site one?
It would be under special condition, wouldn't it?
Maybe it's not on this. It might be in the stormwater one. Hold on 1 second. It might be in the stormwater. Oh no. The applicant shall receive an order of condition from the Air Conservation Commission prior to commencing any site work.
No, that I saw. I was talking about the natural heritage language.
No,
That would fall under conservation.
That falls under conservation.
We don't know what that is
Yeah,
going
we
to be
don't.
anyways.
Natural heritage doesn't have anything to do with planning board, it falls under conservation.
Correct.
I received the letter.
Thank you for saying that, because I might need that information.
I was gonna say, it's because we received the letter with that, it didn't come to the planning board, it came to the conservation commission.
Yeah.
So it's just it's a comment that we share with you, but that jurisdiction falls under conservation.
Yeah.
Right, thank you.
And then also, special condition, the applicant shall submit for a modification if any plan changes come from Conservation Commission in the notice of intent process.
And that's in the stormwater?
That's in stormwater. I will
Okay.
copy that over onto the, into the subdivision as well.
And that would make 2 special conditions in the subdivision approved?
Subdivision, no, it would just be one.
Well, if you add that one, there's number 45 here?
No, so these are all our general conditions.
Right.
We don't have
Okay,
a special
so
condition in
There's
here.
no special conditions.
Okay, so we have to fix,
Yep.
because that says 1 through 44, so
Yep.
it really should be 1 through 45 and one special condition now when you add
Yes.
that? Okay,
Yep. I will do that. I got it right here. I'm working on this.
all right. Just-
Which one are you bringing over?
So the
Front page.
so the condition on the stormwater,
Yeah.
the applicant shall submit for a modification if any plan changes come from the Conservation Commission and the notice of intent process.
Yep.
That way it ties everything, anything that comes out of the Natural Heritage Conservation Commission has to approve it anyways. So if anything changes in the NOI process, they have to come back here. If it's anything substantive. So I will create a new section.
So just out of curiosity, has any communication come back from them at
It's
all?
a little
The
challenging
only
to
thing we
read those.
received
Hold on,
was
Dave,
the,
hold on just a second. I asked Heather a question, sorry, Mr. Chair.
the only thing we received was the initial letter. I
They
wasn't
got the
aware
stuff.
that, there was information missing. So they had submitted that back to them and we hadn't heard anything back. So according to Joe, that your engineer did, and we'll have a meeting with them. And just thinking about while that maybe there'd be a condition in regards to like a storm drain or anything like that, but I highly doubt that because we've had other projects with similar that hadn't had anything besides, if anything, a prohibited as far as it's got restriction on timing of construction.
Okay, thank you. All right, so stormwater refers to natural heritage, but that we don't need to put it into the other one, the subdivision modification.
Hold on one second. Let me just get this in here. Okay. I'm sorry, Ken. What was that?
We pretty much established we don't need to put any language in the subdivision modification regarding natural heritage, but we do put some language in the stormwater regarding that.
No. So I carried
legal.
over. I carried over onto the subdivision.
Oh, we did.
It
Yep.
is.
That was. I just put that in right.
So
there.
that's the one special condition.
correct.
Can I open this up to questions, comments?
I would suggest that at this point we haven't gone through the decision, so it'll be comments on the plans as of right now.
Right, that's exactly right. So I would turn to my colleagues. Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Do you have any questions or comments about the plans or anything that Mr. Cataldo has clarified for us this evening? Do you have any questions about the decision as it's composed?
The only comment I want to make is that I just want to double check back so the public understands this is a modification of an existing approved subdivision from the past.
Correct.
So we're basically applying under the application from the engineer, from Mr. Cataldo, we're applying the new subdivision regulations that have been put in place since then.
Yep.
To basically improve, I would say, the
Yes.
original subdivision that was designed and approved by the town in what, like 2003 or 4, whatever it
Yeah,
was.
2003, I believe it
Something
was.
like that. So we basically have, we think we may have upgraded the requirements
Yes.
and we have a better plan.
Yes.
Do you have any comment on that, Mr. Cataldo?
No, you're spot on. I mean, it was the present conditions are sheet drainage. We have subsurface drainage, improving the water, widening the roadway. I mean, it's all up to, as you said, Ken, the 2026 standards.
Okay, thank you.
Have we addressed the waiver request already?
No, so that's where. So
Is that where you're going to go next?
yeah. So if we want to go through the waiver request for this one, so
So
we did discuss it at a previous meeting about the sidewalks, but the board never made a formal vote on it. So the waiver request from the Town of Ayer Subdivision Rules and Regulations, Section 7B2A, Design Standard Table 1, number of sidewalks. Request is, we believe that the proposed plan meets the Ayer Subdivision Rules and Regulations, and the only waiver needed from the requirement of a sidewalk on one side of the road, because there's no sidewalk on Westford Road to tie into, and the area is industrial zoned without significant pedestrian traffic. Constructing a sidewalk does not seem warranted, and the applicant is requesting a waiver from this requirement.
Okay.
So I am in agreement with this. you know, this is an industrial site. There is no connection on Westford Road as of right now. And this whole area is an industrial zone. Right across the street is Nemco Way, the National Grid substation. So there's really not walking occurring in this area.
Just
Comment?
yeah, one comment, Mr. Chair. Usually we have, I think it's 5 criteria we look at. I don't have it in front of me. That are when we review. I think applications in general, especially when we're looking at special permits and waivers.
So we do that for special permits, not for waivers.
Okay, waivers are a judgment call.
Yes. Yeah, that's a planning board judgment call.
Yeah, I just want to be clear because normally with a special permit, there is a it's not just a guess.
Mm-hmm.
There is a process that we go through.
Yes. So there is no special permits on this project.
The 2 criteria for waivers are it's in the benefit of the town, or it's logically inconsistent. There's a logical reason why it wouldn't be applicable. And that's the second one is what applies here, is that it would be a sidewalk to nowhere that no one would ever use. So that's the foundation.
Yeah, just one other thought on that is typically the subdivision regulations were put together for residential
Yes.
work where we encourage sidewalks on both sides of the road.
Yeah.
Being an industrial site and the fact that there's only like one building there at the moment,
Correct.
it's pretty much a case where one sidewalk would be more than they had before. So I believe it's a good waiver.
Do I need to solicit public comment on the waiver?
On the waiver, if you want. Yeah, I would say open it up regarding the waiver.
Any public comment or questions on the waiver request? Hearing none, I think it's time to entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. I move that we waive section 7.b.2a design standard table 1 number of sidewalks for the Orion Park Drive project application.
Seconded.
And it's seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Ken?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Nathan?
Aye.
Julie?
Yes.
And the chair votes aye. The waiver is accepted.
Okay. So now that the waivers, we can kind of go through the findings.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yep, I would go through the findings right
So
now.
we have the following 3 findings under section number 5, as you see on the screen. Number 1, the proposed Orion Park Drive definitive subdivision meets the design criteria of section 4 of the Ayer subdivision regulations, except for those items that were modified via the granting of waivers as specified above. Number 2, the project site consists of parcel ID 7-7 and 30 and 738, consisting of
I need to get that number.
X number
I
X,
left
that
I
will
left
be
that out.
fixed, located within the area
I think it's it's 4+ acres. I don't have the exact.
of approximately 4 acres, located within the Ayer's residence industrial zoning. Is
Yeah,
that
we got a
correct?
question there.
Residence industrial.
That's a new zone.
Wait,
Oh, I forgot to erase the residence.
it's the Ayer's industrial zone, right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Bracketing.
Within the Ayer's, that's being corrected.
That was easy.
Ayer's industrial zoning district. The project site is located along Westford Road. Number 3, the applicant will come back to the planning board for site plan review approval on the 2 additional lots shown as Lot 4 and Lot 5 on the approved definitive subdivision plans dated February 24th, 2026.
And then, so these conditions, as you see here, these are our general conditions.
1 through 45?
Yep, 1 through 45. These are, so there's more within the subdivision ones because there are some subdivision regulations that need to get put into here, into our decision as typically under just site plan review. So there's 45 of them on this one.
And then there's one special condition, which
Yep.
if you can bring that up.
So on the definitive subdivision decision, there is one special condition, and that is the applicant shall submit for a modification if any plan changes come from the Conservation Commission and the notice intent process. So one thing I would clarify, if any just how we define it based on here,
Mhm.
just so that there's no confusion. So I just added in if any major plan changes come from
Okay.
the Conservation Commission in the notice intent process.
Great. Okay, good.
I would suggest opening it up to
Yeah.
comment.
First, my board colleagues, do you have any comment or questions regarding the decision? To open it up to the public, anyone in the room have any questions or comments regarding the decision for Orion Park?
Modification.
Anyone in Zoom have any public comment on the modification to the subdivision of Orion? Okay, Park Drive. Hearing
All right.
none.
And so let's go through the stormwater.
Oh, don't we want to vote on this?
We can vote after on both.
Okay.
We can vote on both at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I look at the major stormwater, I see that there's,
35.
I think, 5 findings and 1 waiver request.
Yep, the waiver request is the same one that was already issued.
So do I need to reread that? So it's the same
Nope.
waiver, do we need to vote on that again? We voted
Nope,
it
it's
once,
already
it's good
voted.
enough, so it's already voted on. Do we need to read the findings to the public record, the standard 5? The findings are, I just want to say, they're going to sound confusing because what the findings are is why we're creating a stormwater permit. It's not describing the conditions in the Ryan Park subdivision. So that said, the formal language reads as thus. 1, because construction site stormwater runoff and post-construction stormwater discharges may permanently alter hydraulic response of local watersheds and increase stormwater runoff rates and volumes, which in turn may increase flooding, stream channel erosion, non-point source pollution and sediment transport and deposition, and decrease groundwater recharge. And number 2, because construction site stormwater runoff and post-construction stormwater discharges can adversely affect public safety, public and private property, surface water, groundwater resources, drinking water supplies, recreation, aquatic habitats, fish and other aquatic life, property values, and other uses of land and water. 3, therefore, it is in the public interest to regulate construction site stormwater runoff and post-construction stormwater discharges in order to minimize the impacts identified above. 4, this permit is subject to the Town of Ayer stormwater regulations. 5, the project site consists of parcel ID 7-7 and 38, consisting of approximately 4 acres located within the Ayers
Same thing.
Industrial Zoning District. You saw the typo there.
Yeah.
The project site is located along Westford Road.
Okay. And
Can we consider this for 1 minute and go to the language? Is it possible, Danny, to just put 1, 2, and 3 together in one paragraph? And then go to number 1, the permit, and number 2, the project? Why do we have 1, 2, and 3 in that language?
because it comes straight out of the regulations.
We're sitting here now.
Yeah, I'm just saying that that's how it comes out of the regulations.
I know it's in the stormwater regulations, but we're using it here as a preface to the permit. I just feel that those 3 things just go together in a paragraph. It's kind of a preemptive statement as to why we're doing it.
Yeah, I might jump in a little bit.
Yeah,
Also, we made some edits when we did this the previous time. I just
Yeah, we
wanted to
did.
know, are these the same edits we made for the prior
You know what?
application?
yeah, we went
Because we
through
had
this
we
before.
had this discussion.
I think we did have discussion, but I don't think we wanted to make edits, but I think we didn't end up making edits because we came to because of when we finally figured out what Jonathan stated. It's the description of why we're putting together the permit.
So we put a
Because we
pin,
did discuss this during Lincoln Hill.
So we put a pin in it to make a change to the regulations. Is that what?
Yeah. Yes. Well, no. So
Yeah.
what we stated was the way Jonathan stated it. It's basically the reason the way it's written this way is it comes from the regulations and it's the preface as to why we're creating the stormwater permit. I mean, if you want to combine this into one, we can. I don't think it makes a difference.
I'd
We have a
advise for-
professional communicator with us.
I'd say for the sake of
Makes a living doing
I'd say
this.
for the sake of simplicity, let it remain mirroring the regulation. That just minimizes confusion. I think we would change this only if we change the regulatory language as well.
Which we
Which would be very-
and in a future time we will be, because we're waiting on modifications from the Mass Stormwater Handbook.
All right, and we have 1 through 35 of the standard conditions that come with any stormwater permit, and then
Correct.
section 6, I'd like to read into the record the 3 special
Can you change
conditions.
the acreage to 4 acres?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks.
And they read as follows. Number one, the applicant shall submit for a modification if any plan changes come from the Conservation Commission and the notice of intent process. Number two, a stormwater maintenance fee or bond may be required to ensure operations and maintenance of the stormwater system. The fee or bond would be based on the cost estimate providing the value of 5 years of the O&M of the stormwater system. This fee or bond shall be in place prior to receiving the final certificate of occupancy from the building commissioner. And three, the certificate of completion shall be recorded at the Middlesex South Registry of Deeds by the owner, and a copy of the recorded decision shall be submitted electronically to the planning department. Public comment?
So
Yep.
regarding number 2 here, that, I guess we have, this road ultimately will be accepted by the town, that's your.
Yeah, but
Go.
it's for that in between phase.
Okay,
So if they're going to build the road, but they're not going to turn it over right away. It's until they've met all of the requirements, and that might not be for some time. So that's why we build that in.
yeah, we've done it before.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any further comment or questions about the decisions from my board colleagues? I'd like to open up for public comment, beginning with in the room. Please come up.
Julianne Govang, 34 Groton Harvard Road. My question is, we're changing the language in this, adding just the word major. What constitutes major versus minor? Because construction plans are fluid. So if it's just something small, they might just do it and say, well, that was really not a major thing. Shouldn't everything come back to the planning board?
We have a definition of major versus minor.
Okay.
They're spelled out in the decisions.
Okay,
So substantial additions, deletions, deviations from the approved plans, including not limited to large changes in site layout, topography, architectural plans, landscaping plans, traffic circulation, parking, lighting, signage, open space, and other criteria set forth by MGL is subject to a public hearing and vote by planning board. And typically, the building commissioner and I will meet and discuss, do we think that it requires a modification? If it doesn't, then at that point we can do a minor, and I will typically review it, do a letter, and then I let the board know. If there's something that's more, that requires, like, say they come in and it says they're asking for another waiver, then at that point I'd be like, all right, you have to go back to the planning board. There's a whole public hearing process that goes through it, and then they have to get those approved.
okay, so are developers aware of what is major and what is minor?
It's in the
So-
decision.
It's in the decision, okay, so if they don't follow that, then it's a problem with the planning board, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you.
Julian, can I add one thing? Correct me if I'm wrong, but both of those mean that the developer still has to come to Danny and then before the planning board. It's not like if it's minor, we just don't care or we don't see it. It's all coming before us. It's just how we handle it and label it, whether it's this full public hearing or just open discussion.
Now, the reason why I ask is because if there's any interpretation on behalf of the developer,
I think
and there's
that's
any,
why,
like,
but
yeah,
that's why I'm
it's
saying that.
miscommunication or
Yeah.
misunderstanding,
Yeah, no.
they might just do it and
any
then find out
change-
afterwards.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, understand where you're coming from. Any changes that they make, unless it's like something in the field that's minor, like really, really minor, I usually get an email like, all right, we're gonna, like, I have this for a project that's gonna be coming forth. They made a modification, they're changing the tree line and they're adding some more slope stuff. They sent me an email. Is this a minor or is it a major? Do we have to come back? That's typically the process.
Okay, just making sure that, the planning board is accountable when that doesn't actually happen.
Mhm.
Okay, great, thanks.
Anyone in Zoom like to make a comment or ask a question? Okay. I think we're ready for a motion on these two.
Yes. So you want to start with the definitive, and your motion is under section 1.
Okay, I make a motion for approval of the site plan.
Oops, oh my goodness.
Wait,
That's on me. That's on me.
Section 4.
no, whoopsie, what should it really say?
No site.
Oops. I'd like to make a motion of approval of the definitive subdivision modification pursuant to subsection 440-24.g definitive subdivision approval and endorsement, subject to the standard conditions. Are they now 1 through 45? And special condition number 1 in this decision.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Ken?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Nathan?
Aye.
Julie?
Yes.
Chair votes aye. It is, the modification is approved. You changing language for the other one too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just writing in the votes over there.
Sorry.
Hope you're okay. On this one,
So 245, 5 and 6 is the,
Yeah, those are the correct numbers?
yeah, those are the right.
that's the stormwater regs or something.
It's bylaw. General bylaw.
Okay, go. I'd like to make a motion for approval of the stormwater management permit pursuant to subsection 245-5 and 6, stormwater management of the Ayer general bylaws, subject to standard conditions 1 through 35 and special conditions numbered 1 through 3 in this decision. Did I make a mistake?
No.
Question, is it a bylaw or a regulation?
It's a bylaw.
Yeah, it is my last one.
Okay. Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Ken?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Nathan?
Aye.
Julie?
Yes.
Chair votes aye. Stormwater management permit is approved.
And now a motion to close the public hearing.
I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing for modification to definitive subdivision and major stormwater management permit for 66 Westford Road, Orion Park Drive.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Ken?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Nathan?
Aye.
Julie?
Yes.
And chair votes aye.
Congratulations.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
So what'll end up happening now is I'll finalize the document, get the signature from Jonathan, and then it'll get it stamped in, and then the 20-day appeal period will start. But I'll send that all in an email
Okay.
to you, so you'll have everything put together all
Great.
together. That's a package.
Thank you very much.
All right, good luck.
Thank you, Gary.
Thanks. Sean, let's see you.
All right. Next item is the continued public hearing for 63 Main Street. Gentlemen, come on up to the table. And when you're finished, Danny, if you just set us up what we're
Yes.
doing this evening, thank you.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, good, thank you.
Alrighty. So, 63 Main Street. So at the last public hearing we had, it was the opening of the public hearing. The applicant made a presentation on the plans, and we discussed that there were comments that were out there, but that the applicant had not had a chance to respond to those. The applicant has had a chance to respond to those now, and has also revised site plans and the architectural plans. The comments were sent to all of the departments, and as of now, we did not have any follow-up comments from any of the other departments.
Okay.
So I don't know if the board wants to go through all of the comments. I know specifically in terms of the traffic, that was probably the bigger one on the police and my side in terms of how they were going to handle that. So those were discussed here as well. So I think those would probably be the best ones to kind of start with. So the first one for the police department.
Can I just, to Jonathan just for a second?
What's up?
And to Danny, actually. So the comments we're talking about, is this past what you just gave us, right?
Yep.
This is the same one that went to him, but he didn't have time to respond to until after the last meeting.
So the department head comments went to him.
Went to him,
He
right.
Put
But it's
all-
the
he
same,
compiled.
this is the one and only.
yes. Yep.
There's no revision to the departments, is what you're
No,
saying? Okay,
correct.
thank you.
So for the police department comments, how does the building work with the existing crosswalk and crosswalk signage? This is the main crossing point for the depot square. The new structure will be set back away from the crosswalk, and our residents will use the crosswalk to access depot square. So let me just pull up the site plan so we can kind of.
The crosswalk that's there that goes to Depot Square is directly in front of our property? Or-
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that any residents that use the T or commute from Depot to Depot Square will just walk across the street.
Yeah. So you can see right here, that's the existing sidewalk right there, and then the crosswalk is right here.
And there's actually there's an easement there in the front of the property, so
Yeah.
that our building actually starts that much further back.
Correct. Yeah, that's the town-owned easement for a sidewalk.
Okay.
The other comments, so what is the sidewalk pedestrian plan during construction? The sidewalk in and around the property will have applied staging and fall protection for the duration of the project. So that would be all around the property, I'm assuming,
Yeah.
right on the property
Yeah.
line.
Well, okay.
So that's for context, it's just the metal staging that's of walking height with
A cover. Wooden
with,
cover.
with a cover said that nothing can penetrate any falling materials or anything like
A
that.
sidewalk shed.
Yeah.
I'm from New York. I get these things.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
In New York,
that's
you
a
find
common
them
occurrence
everywhere.
out there. Yeah.
Yeah, you found them everywhere. Perfect. Okay. The next comment was, what is the construction/contractor plan for parking? No parking on Main Street in front of the building, 2-hour parking on West Street. Contractors will drop off, unload from West Street, and utilize Depot Square as a designated parking area. So the one question I have on this is, do you have a agreement with them? I know you have an agreement for the parking spaces. Are you going to just use those parking spaces?
So we actually have an additional potential agreement if we need more than 6 spots than what we have.
Okay.
So we have that parking was in effect now. So
Yeah.
we'll utilize that parking for the contractors, and if there is going to be spillover, we have another agreement with them to utilize additional space just for construction.
Okay.
So that would be between the hours of 7 to 5 or 7 to 4.
What is the construction / contractor plans for deliveries? No parking again. Deliveries will be coordinated through Moore's on West Street.
No.
So, obviously, so the parking obviously would come in.
And we're going to provide a TMP to the management of this, which will spell out like when we think police details will be needed, because there will be a few hoisting situations or whatever that we'll probably need it, even if it's on West Street too. So.
Okay. So we would make that obviously a special condition.
Main Street, we're trying to stay away from disrupting Main Street. Obviously, it's very busy. Like it's aside from tying in utilities, we probably won't be on Main Street.
So then we would definitely make that as part of as a condition that the TMP gets reviewed by the police department and the fire department before construction starts.
Is this really correct, the way it says through Moore's on West Street?
No, what are going to use? Moore's is going to be doing our deliveries. So, with their
Meaning
You mean?
Moore's the
lumber company.
I know it is, yeah. Okay.
Okay. You're not
Moore's
gonna,
is gonna
I
go
mean, they know
from
the
there to
areas
West
they're going to be. Their
That's it.
drivers are going to be delivering materials for us. So,
Okay.
they'll be delivering to West Street, not Main Street.
Okay. Which other comments you think merit our attention tonight?
So the site plans comments, the DPW was all set with those.
That's a previous list that they put up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we did. As quickly as I could, I did have the engineer, the civil engineer, update as much as he could.
Mm-hmm. And Matt reviewed those, and he had no further comments
Okay.
on those.
The site plan or the construction, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of his comments also was the same question was traffic management plan.
And we got that.
It came from 3 of us, so
We haven't produced the TMP yet, but we will. That'll be
yeah, we would condition it that prior to site work commencing, that be reviewed by the departments.
Roof and site plan.
So one of the comments that I raised, which was the property lines and the plot plan didn't match. The easements currently remain, so I think that did get updated. So actually, this is within your property line.
Yes.
No, that's the line. So those are the two That is a driveway for the abutting property.
Yeah,
You
but
own
that's
that.
where the easement is, isn't that?
No, the easement's in the front of the property.
No, there's another
There's,
reason.
there's another easement back there.
That's not our property. It's our lines only go to
Right here.
right there. Yep.
Okay, that's the confusion. We weren't sure because when we were looking at it, and obviously the GIS is not always correct.
Gotcha.
So it
Yeah.
shows
That is
it
outside of our boundaries.
and that's what I wanted to confirm.
Sorry, then I didn't understand the question because I thought it was the easement on the front of the property.
No, that one it's shown on there. Let me just make sure that it's shown on here again.
I think
Yeah, no, it's right.
Yep.
It does match. Yeah, that's right. It showed like this. Even though it does say 63 Main Street right there.
there's an issue with that. That it's not resolved. I think an issue is.
I'll have to look into that. This is news to me.
This
Yeah.
came up when I first looked at the drawings.
we
found
met
a
and
discrepancy
on this.
that the engineer had two separate things, I believe. He showed it two different ways.
Yeah,
Okay.
he did, but on these plans now they match. So whether or not now the question is because he does call it out as 63 Main Street, which is what.
Which is odd because I've measured this out too, and if you go to if like what they're showing there is 34 road 90 square feet.
Yeah, that's
If
what
you go to that back line, it's more. It's like 4,200 square feet. So something I'll have to look into it with the land surveyor.
Yeah, I just because if you look at it right.
This is important for your benefit.
Yes.
Well, it's important. Well, the problem is that you know if there's a driveway there for the abutting property, it's not like I can use it.
No, I know, but that's
Doesn't
why.
matter, yeah.
But it's to address whether or not it's actually part of your property.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
84. Yeah, this is shown as.
On the
See,
GIS, it shows it completely different.
Yeah, so it says here it says 7630, and here it's and on the GIS it's shown as 84. So you're gonna want to get that confirmed on whether. So based on what I'm seeing here, the GIS is including that area back there.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would just make sure you get your land surveyor to address that because they do call it out. It's a 10-foot right-of-way. There's an easement existing right there used for 10 West Street.
It's got the book and page.
And it's got the
Gotcha,
book and
gotcha.
page right there. So,
Okay.
but they do call it out as part of your property.
Okay.
So it won't change.
It's not going to affect
change anything.
Yeah.
But just so that you understand that that is part of
There's
your
an
property.
encumbrance on 63 Main Street, but it is owned by 16. It's just there's a right of way for that back building.
Yeah, there's a 10-foot
Okay.
right-of-way.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a 10-foot right-of-way.
That could make a difference in how you construct the job with the construction vehicles and stuff. If you can work on that spot.
In
That's
terms
important.
of in terms of construction for them, but in terms of like the overall plan,
Right.
it doesn't change the location of the building because they're not going to move that because it's a 10-foot right-of-way, so they have to allow it anyways.
Doesn't change anything really for construction. Just a conversation I have to have with the seller, I guess, right?
Yes. The other comments were site plan calls out that the existing building encroaches into the proposed building. What will be done about this? We will set the boundaries so that the buildings do not physically touch.
What was that? Where was I? Sorry.
That's my second comment.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you.
How will this building be built so close to the other buildings? We will typically use zero lot line building practices like one-sided foundation pour, etc., in coordination with the applications of codes and town building department. Where will you do construction staging? We discussed this as well. You will need a traffic management plan. We talked about that. The parking agreement was submitted and reviewed. It's it's almost exactly the same one as we previously reviewed for 3 to 5 Park Street. And then on the providing the updated plans, so they did update on the glazing on the table.
We updated the parking as required.
You still show it at 61.
Oh. Oh, no.
So just so
Yeah. I'll make sure it's right before building permit submission.
Yep. And your parking units as well.
It still does change.
Yeah, still shows it as 1.
I wonder if I just attached the wrong one to you.
This is a revised version.
What is meant by construction staging will be posted in Main Street?
Say that one more time.
What was that?
That's
So which one is it?
Third, fourth question. At the top
No,
or
right there.
on mine?
I had it on yours.
Where construction, we will be posted in Main Street and West Street attached pedestrian safety staging.
Where will you do construction staging?
Where will you do construction staging?
I think that's your concern about delivering materials to the site. You gotta get a delivery of drywall.
Yeah, that's the delivery of drywalls.
Some kind of steel. or whatever.
I think they interpreted it as staging as,
Yes,
you know.
I got it, right.
So I think I missed. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a misunderstanding. You thought of the staging as like
Correct.
What we were talking about before.
So you're talking about actually the building
With-
materials.
yeah,
and everything.
materials.
So we have a agreement with Barry next door at Depot Square. Typically this type of site we will stage on the property within the property and then go tier by tier. Just like once the first deck is done, we'll just load to the second deck and then during the deliveries. But any excess materials or anything will be stored in Depot Square. Covered.
And that was covered under your
Yeah.
additional agreement.
Yeah.
The only thing is we'll want to see a copy of that as well.
Sure. I mean, we hope to keep everything on the site.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see why we wouldn't be able to.
So what else can we do with this 63 Main Street tonight?
So I think.
Any of the revisions that we talked about on the first page?
So I just told them that they're still not done. They need to be updated.
Okay. I have. You go ahead.
Please, no, you go ahead.
Have we-
And then Nathan, you first and Nathan.
What page do you want to look at?
The size of the units. Have we addressed the size of the units themselves?
That is one of the questions that I have to address with the building commissioner. That is the last question that we have left to address.
Yeah.
But I believe it's coming down to, based on what we've been discussing, it's going to be the waiver from that's allowed through the inclusionary housing bylaw.
Good. You guys.
So we expect to see a waiver request?
They were-
Yeah,
Are
so
they thinking about that too, or what?
I need a formal
Request.
I need to give them the formal interpretation.
Okay. That was the only thing I had on my notes.
Nathan?
Just curiosity, maybe you can write it down, but how do you handle, typically like a site will have dumpsters for their garbage or refuse. What will you be doing to,
Dumpster.
well, there's no room. How do you do this? I'm curious.
Yeah, so there's once the first deck is built, it would be live loads at that point.
Everything's carried
So
out.
it would be stored on the site just and we would have a live load come in and just load up and leave.
Okay.
I mean, there's no room. I mean, unless we put a dumpster somewhere on the street, which is not, there's no.
Not happening.
Not a lot of options.
So for those of us who aren't in the construction business, live load means you actually pull up a truck. And
Yeah.
do it on
So
the
we
spot.
pull up on
away.
West Street, and then we would just shuffle the stuff in. Early on in the process, you can probably pull into the site, but not, pretty quickly that will go away once the foundation is up and stuff, and we'll just have to pull up and load up.
And this might actually be helpful with the discussion of your 10-foot easement. You might be able to just pull up right there and just.
I hope that's how it goes.
Okay, that's going to be important, that little strip of land.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's a good discussion point for construction in the sense
Yeah.
of if you need to pull up a vehicle and
Sure.
there, you want to use that access.
100%.
What about an office trailer and stuff like that?
We want. This is too small of a project for that.
Okay. So you guys are gonna come to the job with your trucks, you're gonna park your trucks across the street, you're gonna haul your tools like you would in Boston or anywhere else?
Usually, say if a plumber is plumbing the place, he'll pull up on West Street, unload his stuff,
Yeah.
and then leave his guys there, and then either leave or just go over to Depot Square
Yeah.
and park.
Okay. I mean, the biggest concern is gonna be the steel and stuff like that, when you go to erect the steel with the crane.
There's no steel in this
Oh,
project.
it's all wood?
Yep.
Oh, okay, my mistake. I figured it was gonna be steel.
Sorry, one more. Do you have a plan to secure any? I was just at a project where one of my contractors lost all his tools. Do you have a project to secure? A plan to secure this?
So we'll have perimeter fencing all the way up.
Okay.
It's rent a fence or whatever, you know, the
Construction
construction fence with the
Okay.
screening on it.
Yep.
And we typically put like a Wi-Fi camera on our projects,
Mhm.
so we'll use like it's a cell camera, you know. So we'll just get it on the corner of the property, and then once the building goes up, then once you get the doors in it and secure it, that camera kind of goes away. But in the beginning, that's probably the best way we'll do it, or the most logical way to do it.
Did we really figure out how close it actually is to the building to your left as we look at the plan here?
0.05.
Wow.
Half a foot?
Not even.
Not even.
0.05.
Oh. Because
It's like
they
It's
have,
pretty much touching on a good portion of that other building.
they do have utilities on the side
I
of the
mean,
building.
that's how all East Main Street is right now. So.
They're gonna
It's on the
like-
back.
I mean,
I think
all
their
on the
utilities are on
street.
the back though. And
I just walked it like an hour
Yeah.
ago,
Oh,
2
really?
hours ago. Walked right down the side of that building. So there's definitely an electric meter on the side of that building. There's some electrical services there. I want to say it comes overhead to the top of the building, then they put it down to the side to the meter, and it goes underground into the
Yeah,
building.
you can see it on the plan. There's a utility pole right here.
But there's a meter. There's
Yeah,
a
but
meter
our
there.
building doesn't go back. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'll have to
Check it out.
look at it. Yeah, I'll
Just
check it
check
out.
it
100%.
Yeah, you can see it right here to the electric meter.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's
So that's the lot line.
That's
That's
really-
actually not where the building. You know, so if you look at the other building, it actually peels away from.
yeah. It goes.
Yeah,
It
it might
goes
work.
Yeah.
further
Yeah, it might
out.
work. Yeah.
It might work.
Yeah.
Just coordination with the people next door is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna go in there and rip off the guys. You know, we're not gonna do anything. If we have to, we'll just set the building back just a little bit, just to make room. You know, or whatever we need to do. I mean,
You do have the room on this side that you can to play with if you need it.
yeah. I mean, if we either way, we'll work. I mean, I'm gonna once before this starts, I'm gonna be talking with the owners next door,
Yeah,
making sure
okay.
that their current
That's cool.
concerns are addressed.
Well, the main thing is it complies with our form-based code, and the rest has to be worked out in the field or with the neighbors or whatever, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, comment.
If my colleagues have finished, I can open this up to public comment, starting with the room. Hearing none, any public comment coming from Zoom? Okay. What are the next steps?
So we continue to the next meeting. I think by then I will have
And what's the date of that?
the 24th. We follow like February, same dates.
Okay, so
So what we would do is at the next meeting, I would work up a decision. We would address the final waiver, and we would, and obviously this will give them the time to to review the 63 Main Street section, the 10-foot right-of-way stuff. But that's not as
Okay.
important for our determination. It's just for them. But
Okay.
I can work up a decision, get a
Beautiful.
draft over to the applicant to review for comment, and be ready for the next meeting.
sounds great.
Can I ask you one question?
Sure.
Did your engineer go to the registry of deeds and look up the deed for the property?
I believe you did. Yeah.
assume so. I mean, that's
Because you would have found that
Yeah,
language
it-
somewhere.
a surveyor
Yeah, I
without
know,
doing that.
But
That's
I mean,
negligence.
He took quite a while to do
Yeah.
this, because he said he kept going to have to check a few. He told me.
I mean, it's shown as
Yeah,
63
yeah.
Main Street. It's there. It's shown as their property.
Hmm.
But it's
I
probably
don't think it really matters.
It
Like, doesn't even
yeah,
matter. Yeah.
It really doesn't matter.
Mm.
It only
So-
matters in the sense of
Yeah, I'd like
construction.
a
It might be
motion.
a tax thing, maybe. I don't know.
Nathan, were you about to form a motion for?
Sure, yeah. I move that we continue the public hearing for 63 Main Street, application for site plan approval, special permit inclusionary housing bylaw, to our next meeting on March 24th.
Seconded.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Ken?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Nathan?
Aye.
Julie?
Yes.
Chair votes aye. We'll continue. We'll see you the 24th.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we just take a 5-minute break?
Yeah, we're going to take a 5-minute recess. Yeah, March 10th. Just quickly, there are no master plan updates. Just know that it's on here all the time. Just,
It's going to be a
It'll
carry-on
be a
item
carry-over.
because we're going to
but
be.
as you know, we're going to meet and we'll share the substance of that meeting with you. So let's move right into the project status updates.
Yes.
Take it away, Danny.
So for Stratton Hill, Stratton Hill has started construction again.
Yeah, I bet.
They're moving along. I know. Julie knows.
And Kathleen.
And Kathleen, yes, I forgot. Yes, Kathleen
She's
as
here.
well. So I'm waiting for a quarterly update from them. I should be receiving it this month, towards the end of this month. But they're starting back up doing SWIP inspections because they were in winter conditions. Now they're starting back up, and obviously with the thaw and everything, they were doing SWIP and they had to do a SWIP inspection.
Okay.
In terms of Lincoln Hill, as of right now, they have a estimated 13 more days of blast, 8 more blasts within the easement, and they're currently laying down stormwater and sewer. Those were both fully installed within Nicholas Lane.
Wow.
Those are being obviously inspected by, I believe it's Green International who's helping us do the inspections right now. I know today Ian was out on site doing his inspections on their behalf. So that was moving forward as well. And then, at the next, on Friday, there's a construction meeting that they host, so I'll be there on Friday for that one.
That's this
1
Friday?
o'clock. Yes. And that is that's for Lincoln Hill. Any questions on that one? Okay.
So the Green International is representing our interests, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're helping the DPW with inspections, with all the utilities.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And with recently, with the thaw, obviously, with this weather, I did talk with Josie about making sure she was walking the erosion control, frequently to make sure that there was no, sedimentation leaving the site. So, the last 2 days have been really important to make sure that nothing was happening in terms of leaving the site with erosion.
Great.
In terms of,
We have a question to
Is it
come?
okay if I ask a question?
Yeah, come on up, Rachel.
Thank you so much. Hello again, Rachel Kozera, 30 Grattan Harvard Road. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was just wondering, you mentioned that Green International was representing the DPW. Is there a representative from the DPW going with Green International to ensure that all of the appropriate things are being taken care of with regard to the inspections and the building of the structure? It seemed like they were all, we went through the process of their review, their approval, and everything like that. It seemed like it was going to get their stamp of approval, and that they had the resources to allocate to ensuring that safety for all of us. So I didn't know if that was happening.
I believe that the Green International is representing the town.
Okay, so can you describe how that works, I guess, instead of the town representing itself?
Yes. So basically, what they do is they would do exactly the same thing that the DPW would do, but they would have a certified engineer go out there, document, make sure it's approved, goes to the approved plans. They go through all of the stormwater documents, basically anything that's regarding the installation. They'll go through the DPW submittals in terms of specifications to make sure that they line up all properly.
Okay, so I'm just trying to figure out the review process with all of that. So if something doesn't go correctly, is it the town that's liable, or is it the Green International? I apologize, I'm not well versed in all of these.
Yeah,
Through the chair, respectfully.
So in terms of if something goes wrong, are you talking during the after the installation occurs?
Well, let's say Green International inspected all of the, everything that's going on underneath.
Yep.
And they said everything is fine, and the
Mhm.
DPW said, okay, everything's fine, and then something wasn't fine. I'm just trying to understand the process, and I do apologize.
Yeah, so typically the process is the town, so we will go out there to inspect the like utilities. We don't go actually measure all of like make sure it's laid at the right angle. That's not the town's responsibility, it's their engineer's responsibility. They'll submit as-built plans at the end of the project or as they progress, depending on if they're looking for COs or stuff like that, but they'll submit these as-built plans that will show us exactly what the pitches are, what the slopes are, where they're located, where they at the right height or not. So all of that information will then later be reviewed again. So it's kind of just more of to make sure that it's based on what they're seeing out there, that it looks like it's following the submittals, the plans and everything, and then it's the applicant's burden to submit to the town to prove that they're meeting the plans. If what happens, during the as-built plan, if something is off, typically the way it works is the town will say, all right, this needs to be either raised or this needs to be lowered, this needs to be changed, and that's kind of the process of how it gets done.
Okay.
I think it's a good question. I'd like to follow up on a couple of things.
Well, I don't know if she's done yet, Ken.
Oh, please feel free. Thank you so much.
So, someone has reached out to Green International.
Yes.
Was it the DPW?
Yes.
Now, that's being paid for by the applicant. That's part of it.
I haven't asked. That's through their department. I don't know. I would assume it's coming out of the 53G, but I'm not in charge of. No, they already paid. I think it was like 21,000.
They pay a fee because there's a cost for connecting the sewer and connecting
Correct.
the water and all the other complements,
Yes.
the components that go into the stormwater. And whatnot.
Yes.
So there's a fee associated with that connection that's
Yes.
being made.
There was. I believe-
DPW gives them that cost. They paid it to DPW. Now it's up to the DPW to check the installation, but just to verify what we're talking about here is the ultimate as-built responsibility is by Ian's engineering firm, the
Correct.
applicant's engineering firm. So they can take shots of the installation, double check that it matches the design on the plans, and whatnot. Green is more of an inspection of quality and installation and connections. It looks like it passes. But ultimately, at the end, for instance, the water in the sewer will get a pressure test under the town's regulations. There'll be a chlorinated test. The hydrants will be tested for pressure. The whole thing will go through a long series before the town accepts it, is what I'm getting at. So Green is an intermediary right now. Basically, most likely the engineering department at the DPW, making a guess now, is busy. And they cannot get there all the time when the applicant needs the inspection.
That is correct.
So there's a timing thing, Rachel, that they open up a trench and they install piping, and now they need it inspected because they need to move to the next section.
Okay.
So that they can't leave the whole site open for inspection. They do it in sequence, and they have to call the DPW and say, we need an inspection tomorrow because we just put in 100 feet of pipe, and they have to respond.
Yep.
And so if they can't respond, I'm thinking they reach out to Green International
Yeah.
to take get that inspection done.
Yeah.
They backfill it, they watch the backfill, the material they put in, the whole sequence. And then ultimately, it all gets tested again at the very end. The final inspection by the engineer that designed it will verify that the drawings that showed us elevations for all the piping match, the installation matches the drawings.
Yep.
Otherwise, the stormwater calculation doesn't mean anything.
Correct.
They have to put it in the way they designed it.
Yep.
And they have to owe us a plan that says they did put it in the way they designed it.
Yep. And so the engineer would then stamp a letter saying, I certify using my license, and I would be held liable that it was installed properly. And then what happens is the DPW and I would review those plans in terms of what the approved plans say. And, sometimes there's going to be some slight variations, very minor. But if there's anything that's more than what that's tolerable in the variation, that's where the discussion will come in with the DPW and I on, this needs to be lowered, this needs to be raised, but that probably won't happen towards, once construction's a lot further on.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other updates?
Well, hopefully with this weather, hopefully if it stays nice, we'll hopefully be able to get 42 Park Street going, and get that addressed. So I'm hopeful we don't have any more snow, and we can start getting some other projects moving forward.
Okay.
We did talk about a site walk before the snow hit for Stratton Hill as well, but we never set it up.
Yeah, we never got to. So it was, some people could make it certain times.
Yeah.
It was so. Let me reach back out with
Okay.
Attorney Collins and try to set something up. Set something up that works for everybody. So in terms of the Panther Place project, they're slowly moving along as well. I mean, I expect them to be coming back for release at some point in the next couple of months.
Like they did a few months ago.
Yeah. So, and then at that point, we will be starting to think about releasing the full covenant and maybe going to a bond at that point, just because we're getting closer to that point of there's a lot less lots,
Less liability.
Yeah, exactly. So 91 Groton Harvard Road. So as of now, they've kind of also just been in winter conditions on the exterior. They've only really been doing interior work, but I'm expecting that they'll be probably starting back up on the exterior soon, and with the nice weather. I did receive an email from Limhut about Zero Scully Road.
Oh,
They
right.
have. There was some.
Nice guy.
They got an agreement, and now things are gonna hopefully start moving along with that project.
Any special permit required for the heliport they want to add? Okay.
Yeah, so that will hopefully start, this spring. Bly Street, so as of right now, nothing on them. Limhut hasn't heard anything back from them yet. He did ask them, but they just haven't moved forward. But they all have plenty of time before they have to act on their permits.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if there was anything else.
Danny's
Notice-
finished. Can I ask him a
Did-
question?
Yes.
Did notice pass for the fire department?
Notice pass.
No.
Oh, for 14 Washington Street. So that was submitted into stamped in with the town clerk, and the 21-day appeal period ends.
Okay.
I can't remember
We're in
exactly when, but we're in it. Yep, we're in it. There's going to be a couple of projects. So 12 Willow Road is going to be coming back to the board for a minor modification at the next meeting. They are due to some cost on construction. They're going to be cutting into the hill a little bit further, and this is triggering because there's a requirement that 50 feet of between industrial and residential must be buffered, and they're cutting into that buffer, and they're proposing landscaping, but but the board is the only one that can approve it based on the language. There was discussion on whether or not I could do it, but based on what the actual language states, it's minor, but it has to be done by the planning board.
Okay.
So on this one, the board it's coming back for a public meeting on this one.
Can I go back to Lincoln Hill for a second? You
Yes.
reminded me when you used the word covenant. Have we seen the covenant for Lincoln Hill, or whatever covenant, or whatever?
So we're working. We've been working. The DPW and I and Janet have all been working on that. There is a tripartite agreement already. I have the draft version.
Okay.
That's going to go to town council. We're just waiting on the schedule of costs as of right now for that as well. But we're
It's
right
in the
about
process.
it. Yeah, it's in the process.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on to the minutes. I believe that, Ken, you have a few additional edits to suggest for the February
You had
24th
some
minutes?
edits.
Yeah,
Let me just pull up the minutes.
it had to
here.
do with the number of units and stuff that was talked about in 2 or 3 places, about 63.
Yep, 1 second. Minutes 2026. Okay.
Do you have the,
Yeah, I'm pulling them up right now. Okay, so where
had to do with 63,
63 Main Street. Okay, here we are.
so somewhere it talks about it being
It's
10
11.
units.
Yep.
Someplace else it might talk about being 9 units further down.
Oh, yep. For
Says it will be,
it's
it's confusing on the 8.
yeah, it's actually
My apologies.
no, that's okay.
I think it was mentioned at the beginning of the hearing that it was 11, but it's actually what, 9 or 10, so that's why it changed.
Let me just double check, make sure. I believe it is 11. I think you had it right.
Did I have it right?
It is
Yeah.
11, but I think how
You
many
have them
units
on the
per
plans
floor?
There, and it was discussed in the meeting that we had. I apologize if I wrote that wrong.
10, 11. Yeah, it's 11.
Right, because it's 3, 3, 3, and 2, right?
3, 3, 3, and 2.
So
Yep.
I wrote it as 11, I wrote that and counted as a, wait, no.
Yep. So
My
the
apologies.
apartment with 3 upper levels, 3 units on each floor.
Yeah, and that's what I was like, oh, it's 9.
On
But at the,
There's 2 on the first one.
yeah.
the
First floor.
Well, then check my math.
first and second
And then-
floor and
Oh.
and
I also think I did
2.
No, there's only 2. There's an office and 2 units on the first floor, and there's 3 units on every other floor.
You're right. All right.
That's what, just change the 9 to 11, that's close enough for 11.
Yeah, just take out the 3 units on.
Let's see. So ADA compliant with 3 upper levels with a total of 11 units. Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah, I just wanted to correct the count, that's all. Thank you.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes as amended? I'll
So
make them.
moved.
All right. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Ken?
Aye.
Kathleen? We hear from?
Yes.
I'm sorry, there was one other thing.
There's one other thing. Hold on.
At the very beginning, it talks about meeting minutes from February 12th.
Yes.
Wasn't our meeting on February 10th?
We also had a special meeting on the
And then
12th.
that was the second
Yes.
meeting.
Yeah.
Okay,
Those are the meeting minutes we're waiting on.
thank you, okay.
Yep. So that's right.
So Ken, did you vote? You
I
voted
voted.
aye?
Yeah, I think
You
it
did.
was.
Kathleen?
Said yes.
Kathleen, then Nathan?
Aye.
Julie?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The meeting minutes are approved.
So I will have you sign these meeting minutes and the decisions tomorrow.
That's fine.
Okay.
All righty. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.